Yeah, how's your off-season been so far? I can see
someone said to me recently, "Oh, don't worry, you'll have 6 weeks off," but you don't, because by the time the season finishes, you probably have a couple of weeks, and then you've got to find players. People are already talking to you about what they're doing. I had a holiday, I went to Turkey, but my phone don't stop because you're trying to. It seems as though this year a lot of teams are finding players earlier. So we're having to compete with that as well.
I've even seen people already announcing the signings on Twitter and things like that. Like, you know, that shows a lot that the season's going to be amazing next season. Everyone's trying to compete. Everyone's trying to.
Yeah, a lot of people are putting on Twitter who they've signed, but for me, I'm one of these guys that until they've put it on the paper, we don't do contracts. You know, I've got gentlemen's agreements with people, and people will say, "Yeah, we're coming back." So we start pre-season. We had our trial day. We had over 40 boys turn up. So next week we'll get a rough number, and then through pre-season, a lot of players go somewhere, it doesn't work out, and then they're looking for a team, so they're now getting in contact with you. So because of where we are, we're based, we've got Bowers, we've got Wakering, we've got Basildon, who are all higher in the league, higher leagues than us, so they tend to pick up the players, and anyone that sort of don't feel that they're going to get in there, they come over here. So yeah, it's exciting. We're looking forward to be back.
Same here. I'm looking forward to it because everyone's just working hard, trying to get. Everyone's starting early, is like unusual. Like everyone's starting the pre-season earlier every season. Every season. So yeah, it's quite decent. So what are your thoughts on the new league structures, like from the Bostik League 2?
I mean, it's from an Essex senior point of view. Obviously, we lost Wakering and we've lost Basildon and Romania, so that's 3 good sides that have left the league. But I don't know an awful lot about the likes of Stanway Rovers, Saffron Walden. They've come from a strong league, so I think it's going to be competitive. What I don't see at the moment, and it's very difficult. Normally, you say, right, that team are going to be the front runners. Like last year, we all know we knew Wakering were going to be there, and they did. And I can't see who that's going to be yet. But you know, there's a lot of changes in management, a lot of changes in players. So I think it will probably be one of the most competitive leagues this year. I only do, And in terms of the whole structure, it seems as though obviously 20 teams is a good number. It makes the fixtures manageable. But across the country, I mean, some of the leagues are ludicrous. Some of the travelling they've got to do. But we're all right. We haven't got to go too far.
That is weird. Well, not weird, sorry. But that is actually like Saffron Walden. I don't know for you guys how far it would be.
No, Saffron Walden's up by Stansted. So for us, it is quite a journey, and it's the same for them. But you know that we've been doing Stansted since we've been here, so I don't think that's a problem. What we were more worried about is you want good sides in the league, you want competitive games, you want to play at good grounds and good pitches. And I know that the teams from the Foreign Nuns, so the likes of Saffron Walden, they've always had good pitches, they get a good crowd, and that's important for us. So it just means that it's going to be competitive and everyone's going to be fighting for the same goals.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I see you've had you've had trials long ago. So what are your thoughts on that? Did you find anyone?
So obviously we've got 2 teams. So we've got the reserves and first team. So part of the main reason to do the trials is because we're kind of building a new reserve side. And we had a few boys that have been in contact who have played for local clubs in their reserve team or been fringe players that we brought over today. So there's probably, out of the 40, we're probably going to invite 15 back. Which is good. Some of those will be more for reserves, and there's probably 3 or 4 that we'd look at for the first team. It's always a worthwhile exercise to do, because some of these youngsters, 16, 17, they don't know really what to do about getting into a club like us. So you lay on a trial day and they turn up. Some of them come with their mums and dads and whatnot. But we had a good turnout, really happy with that, and they'll be invited to pre-season, and then we'll monitor them through pre-season, through the pre-season friendlies.
That's good. I'm guessing that's going to be 40 people, and you have to get it down to 15 people.
I'm
guessing that's going to be such a hard task to do.
It is, because you've also got to remember it's difficult because you're only watching them for maybe 60 minutes. Some of them are probably not as fit as they would like to be. Some of them haven't played for weeks, so some of them will be rusty. You've just got to look and make sure that you don't miss any gems. But it's also hard. You could let people go that are good. It's one of those things, but for us to get 40 odd boys at this time of year is good. And then we'll manage it through the season. Hopefully those boys can either be good enough for our reserves and then push on to the first team, or could be first team players, or could be in the middle. We have to have a squad of 40 boys really for the reserves and first team. So, and the more competitive the squads are, the better players you get.
Definitely, especially going into this new season. You know, the competition is getting stronger and all that, so you're going to definitely need backups and things like that. You know what I mean? So, any new first team players you're planning on bringing in, or keeping your?
So I spoke to all the boys from last year. There's only one that's actually left that we, was a fringe player. The others have all pretty much said they're coming back. There will be some of those that will be, regular first team players. There'll be some of those that are pushing into the first team. So in terms of what we're getting back, I'm happy. I've retained some of my stronger players. And also some of the boys that were pushing on last season that started to, a lot of them had their first season at this level. So when you get those boys through, after a season they've developed, and hopefully, they can develop even more this season.
They learn a lot from the older boys and all that.
But we also do need to make changes because, where we last season wasn't good enough. We were too good. We were good in good games. We were really good in games, and we were really bad in games. When we played against the top sides, the Basildons, the Wakerings, the Takeleys, our one game against Takeley, Redbridge, we competed, and actually in a couple of games we should have won. We just struggled when we were playing against teams that we probably thought we should have beat. And this season I need a team that is going to be consistent across the season, and I need to try and get a squad of 18 that's going to be there every week, because we had too much in and out last season. There was management change. I only came in sort of into November. We lost a load of players, and obviously a couple of the local teams took some of our players as well. So for us it's about settled squad, good 16-18 core for the first team, get the squad together, gel, have a good pre-season. We can work on shape, we can work on patterns of play, etc. And then hopefully that will leave us in good stead going into the first game on 4th of August, I think.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. So, going into pre-season now, have you got anything lined up for pre-season?
Yeah. So we've got 6 games from the first team. We've got some competitive games in there. We're playing Brentwood and Witham from the Bostik League, and they'll be coming over to South Church Park. So 6 games. We'll do 2 weeks of training with no games. It will be purely. The boys won't like to know, but a lot of running.
I'm sure none of us like that.
Yeah, a lot of core work, etc. So that'll be 2 weeks, and then we go into the pre-season games. We've got 6 games before the season starts, so it gives me opportunity to 1, look at the players that are coming in, 2, look at a few formations and shape, and also finally to make sure anyone that we basically to be able to define a 16 or 18 that are going to be starting going into the first week of the season.
Okay, that sounds decent. So, going to the first week of the season, because I know there's a few cup games that are starting so early. So, isn't that not going to mix up with like the friends that you've got?
No. We're under the impression that the league's going to start on the 4th of August, and the FA Cup will be the week after. So I've planned. My last friend is on the 28th of July. So I've planned nothing for the week before. So hopefully there'll be no interference. As far as I'm aware, the season's not going to start till the 4th. That'll give us 28th. I'll have a week with the boys before the Saturday game. We'll do a couple of training sessions, get the boys together. So we'll be ready come the 4th of August.
Okay, that's cool. That's very good then. So finally, just because the World Cup is going on, I ask you your thoughts on the World Cup and England's squad. And
you know what, I was saying this to someone the other day. Since I've been involved in football, from the age of 5. This is probably the only year I remember where there is no expectation on this England side, because you haven't got the Beckhams, Scholes, Gerrards, Campbells, Owens, Rooneys. You've got young players who are good Premiership players who are yet to prove themselves at international level. For me, I think it could go 2 ways. They could either really go for it because there's no pressure, or we could lack experience as we get through the later rounds. I do think we'll get through the group. How far we'll get, being an optimist, I'd like to say we'll get to the semis, but it all depends on how the squad reacts to their first big tournament. But there are some good sides, Spain and Portugal, great game. France are going to be strong. They've won today, I think. Brazil, I think Brazil are the favourites in my opinion. I think they're too good. So it's good. It's good because now football's back.
Yeah, exactly.
We're back into pre-season. If we ain't got pre-season, we're watching World Cup. If we ain't got World Cup, we've got friendlies. If we ain't got friendlies, we've got training. My missus is not happy now because it's time to get back to football. But yeah, it's look. You know what? It's
a great year for football.
It is. You know what? And you know, football's a massive part of my life. And when you have, it's nice to have that time out. But after the 6 weeks, you're just ready to go back and get back involved because nothing to do on a Saturday.
Saturday's not the same.
No, what do you do on a Saturday?
You wake up like, oh gosh, what am I going to do?
What do I do? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and that's the exciting thing. And what's exciting is getting the boys all together, looking at what we're going to create in terms of a squad, and then just looking at how we can better ourselves this year. And we, you know, the club has ambitions to move up. It's the hardest thing to do in football, I believe. The Essex Senior is the hardest league to get out of because it's very competitive. You only get one promotion this next year, I'm told. The leagues, you know, it's probably more competitive than most leagues. So, you know, we want to. I'm not saying we're going to push for promotion. We'd like to. Whether or not we will is a different story. But I'm going to build a squad that I believe will compete, and we'll see where we are in May.
All right then, Adam. Good. Thanks so much. It's been great talking to you. So I look forward to catching up with you.
You'll be over soon, hopefully. Yeah.
All right then.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you very much.